चाओ चाओ
चाओ चाओ एवरीवन। आज लेट हो गया सबको, आज पैनलिस्ट को लगता है, तो या डिले ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट हाफ एन आवर। वी अपोलोजाइज फॉर दैट यार, क्योंकि काम तो रहता ही है सबका इधर उधर। सो बट यार अजय भाई, हाउ आर यू डूइंग बिफोर वी गेट एवरीथिंग स्टार्टेड? यार आई नो आज भी यूरोपा लीग गेम्स है, रोमा भी खेल रही है, लाजियो भी खेलेगी, चैंपियंस लीग तो हो गया, सेरिया भी हो गया, बट हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
गुड यार, बैक फ्रॉम हिमाचल, गुड ट्रिप, एकदम रिफ्रेश, सीधा बैक
या
इनटू मुंबई ट्रैफिक। तो मुंबई ट्रैफिक ने
या
आज थोड़ा लेट करा दिया मुझे। आज हर जगह पे आई थिंक नवरात्रि का पंडाल है, तो बहुत ट्रैफिक
या
है।
या
तो उसकी वजह से
नवरात्रि,
थोड़ा लेट हुआ आते
या
आते।
फेस्टिव सीजन में तो हमेशा मतलब रोड पैक तो रहेंगे, एंड यू नो द
राइट।
कम्यूट कैन ऑब्वियसली बी टायरिंग और लेट तो हो ही जाता है यार, इसलिए तो ऑफ कोर्स बी पेशेंट विद अस, बट लेट मी सी हु इज इन द हाउस फर्स्ट। Worldly haters here, he says goat panel is back. Highlights of this week: Hakan's free kick, Lille stunning Real Madrid and Benfica hammering Atletico Madrid. या तो डिस्कस तो करेंगे भैया। Bayern lost a first league game after 7 long years, मतलब yeah, definitely. Gopinath says yesterday's win, UA's win will be among the top 5 matches he has ever seen. What a match it was! UA overcame almost every adversity. Yeah. That was, मतलब कैरेक्टर तो दिखा है, वही डिस्कस करेंगे होपफुली। आई थिंक डीजे भाई इज जॉइनिंग अस टुडे, सो वील डिस्कस इट विद हिम, लेट हिम कम। ओके, सो यू डिड गेट व्हाट यू वांटेड, सो फेयर इनफ। ग्लैड इट वर्कड आउट फॉर यू। मैंने भी अपने ये सीजन के इंटर किट्स ऑर्डर किया, आई थिंक नेक्स्ट वीक तक आ जाएगा मेरा। आएगा सून सून, मतलब मोस्टली नेक्स्ट वीक ना अजय, मोस्टली हो जाना है, जस्ट
नेक्स्ट वीक।
सॉर्टिंग आउट।
या
एंट्रीज अभी क्लोज है भाई, अगर कोई नया देख रहा है प्लीज, वी कांट बिकॉज वी आर ऑलरेडी हैव टू सॉर्ट इट आउट, और उसके बाद गिव अवे
या
करना है। वी आर गोइंग टू डू द गिव अवे लाइव इफ पॉसिबल, मतलब
या
वर्चुअल व्हील के साथ। सो यू नो, मतलब अब
आई थिंक परम हैंग हो गया कि मैं हैंग हो गया हूँ, नहीं पता। कमेंट्स में लिखो, कौन कौन हैंग हुआ है, परम की मैं? आई थिंक इट इज परम हुआ सामने, बिकॉज आई कैन सी यू ऑल वेरी वेल। देखो कमेंट्स पे यार, आई रियली कांट मेक आउट कि करण अपना परम हैंग हुआ है कि मैं हैंग हुआ हूँ। परम हैंग हुआ है, चलो ठीक है। आई थिंक उसको मैं बोलता हूँ वापस ज्वाइन करने के लिए। यार बोधे यार, ब्लाहोविच का सच में ही डिजर्व्स एब्सोल्यूट अपलॉज। यू नो ऑब्वियसली जो फ्योरेंटीना वाला वर्जन था ऑफ ब्लाहोविच वाज समथिंग एल्स। एंड ये लास्ट लास्ट वीक के स्ट्रीम में मैंने कहा था कि ब्लाहोविच को समय दो, he will come good. And 2 goals in Serie A over the weekend, and now 2 goals in the Champions League. Absolutely amazing. So overall, it is, you know, Blahovic ka this was expected कि he will come back for sure, and he has come back. And now speaking of comebacks, Param is back to hang हो गया था Param।
कॉल कॉल यार, कॉल पे आई थिंक
Call
आई नीड टू सॉर्ट दैट आउट, बट या गिव अवे अगर आपने तो बोल ही दिया होगा, मतलब मोस्टली नेक्स्ट वीक में हो जाना चाहिए, वो तो
yes,
लाइव करने का ट्राई करेंगे।
yes, yes.
शुभदीप इज हियर, आई थिंक ही इज अ मिलान फैन, ही इज बीन चैटिंग विद अस ऑन इंस्टाग्राम। लॉन्ग टाइम नो सी। हाँ यार, थोड़ा मतलब अजय भाई वाज आल्सो ट्रैवलिंग, चिंतन भाई इज आल्सो ट्रैवलिंग, सो सब लोग का कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा था, सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस वीक वाज सॉर्ट ऑफ अ ब्रेक वीक। वी विल बी बैक विद द कंटेंट, प्लानिंग चल रही है, मोस्टली टोरिनो का वीडियो शुड बी नेक्स्ट। या फेस्टिव सीजन तो चल रहा है भाई। हाँ, नेपाल, अच्छा। या मैं बार बार भूल जाता हूँ, अब नेपाल से, सॉरी माय बैड। लास्ट नाइट्स परफॉर्मेंस पर, हाँ ये आपने ले लिया होगा राइट, बिकॉज आई हर्ड
I
यू
took
टॉकिंग
I
अबाउट
took this comment. I took this comment. Yeah.
या या आई डेफिनेटली अग्री, मतलब वो टर्न अराउंड ट्राई तो कर रहा है। हैंग हो गए, बट 2 साल से मिलान मिलान को भी फ्रीज कर दिया था भाई 2 साल के लिए। अजय भाई विद ऑकवर्ड स्माइल, आई डोंट नो व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट यार। अजय भाई का स्माइल तो हमेशा एकदम मतलब परफेक्ट रहता है। बट अजय भाई, लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड यार। मतलब आई नो आजकल के ये यूरोपियन गेम्स की वजह से यार टाइम अपने को कम मिलता है बात करने को हर चीज के लिए,
बिल्कुल,
सो मे बी वील हैव
बिल्कुल।
टू इंक्रीज द फ्रीक्वेंसी। बट बिफोर वी गेट इनटू द प्रीव्यू एंड एवरीथिंग, लेट्स टॉक अ बिट अबाउट फ्यू ऑफ द गेम्स यार, बिकॉज थोड़ा यूसीएल से ही चालू करते हैं आई गेस, देन वी कैन टॉक अ
Yes,
बिट
yes.
अबाउट
Let's
सेरिया।
start with the Champions League only. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's start with the
first of
Champions
course
League.
I'll wait because I know Chintan bhai is coming, so we can wait for
Yeah.
him. UA
For
game
the
also we
Milan
can wait
game,
for.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Milan and Juve, we can take it up with,
so
Chintan and
what should
Juve.
we do? Should we talk about Napoli or Inter or whatever? What do you want to do?
Let's
Because
let's start with let's start with Champions League. Let's start with Inter, Bologna, Atalanta, winning as well. So I know, yeah, Lille. Lille getting
Yeah,
the better of Real Madrid, but होता है यार, बड़ी-बड़ी देशों में छोटी-छोटी बातें होते रहती है.
yeah. This is कितने बर्थडे थे भाई? अक्टूबर अजय भाई का भी बर्थडे था, so if you have not wished him,
मेरा
please do
बर्थडे भी
wish
था
him.
शुभदीप भाई.
Yeah.
It was
कितने
my
बर्थडे
birthday
हैप्पी
as well.
बिलेटेड या बिलेटेड हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू शुभदीप. इफ यू हैव नॉट विश्ड अजय भाई, प्लीज जनरली अगर आपको करना है तो कर लो यार. मतलब आई एम
Fellow
सरप्राइज टू सी.
fellow 2nd October born, so amazing.
या एग्जैक्टली कितने बर्थडेज है यार 2 अक्टूबर को. आई एम बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन माय सर्कल आल्सो. बट या एवरीथिंग असाइड, लेट्स स्टार्ट यार. नाइस टू हैव यू बिक्कू यार. ऑफ कोर्स इंटर गेम की हम बात कर रहे थे राइट अजय भाई. रेड स्टार के
Yeah,
अगेंस्ट था और आपके चैनल पे उसी दिन चिल स्ट्रीम चल रही थी राइट. आई टोल्ड यू अर्नॉटोविच एंड एवरीवन विल स्टार्ट.
yeah,
रोटेशन तो प्लान्ड था, मतलब से वो ही हैज टू रोटेट. देयर इज नो चॉइस राइट. एट द एंड ऑफ
yeah,
द डे
yeah,
इतने सारे जब गेम्स आते हैं, यू हैव टू प्ले हुएवर इज देयर. और रोटेशन दिखा. Pavard started, of course, Arnautovic up top. गोल में मुझे 1 मिनट के लिए लगा था शायद जोसेफ मार्टिनेज स्टार्ट करे, बट आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स गोइंग टू हैपन एनी टाइम सून. एंड अपार्ट
right.
फ्रॉम दैट ऑफ कोर्स कार्लोस अगुस्टो वापस आया लाइनअप में. डम्फ्री स्टार्टेड. सो आई वॉज फाइन विद द लाइनअप, ऐसा कोई इश्यूज नहीं था. बट परफॉर्मेंस ओवरऑल अगर मैं बोलूँ तो सॉलिड थी. मतलब स्टार्टिंग में फर्स्ट गोल आने में थोड़ा टाइम लगा. आपने तो देखा ही होगा, हाकान स्कोर्ड अ फ्री किक
Right,
गोल आफ्टर अ
right,
लॉन्ग लॉन्ग टाइम. एंड इट वाज अ गुड फ्री किक डिस्पाइट छोटा डिफ्लेक्शन था, बट आई स्टिल फील इट वाज अ वेल टेकन फ्री किक. एंड मतलब रेड स्टार को क्रेडिट देना पड़ेगा, उन्होंने डिफेंसिवली जॉब टफ किया. मतलब दे वर कमिंग इन वेरी गुड फॉर्म. इंटर टुक सम टाइम एंड दे वर काउंटरिंग अस वेरी वेल. मतलब थोड़ा ट्रबल लग रहा था. Devray was
right.
captaining the team because Lautaro didn't start and Barella is injured. So थोड़ा shaky था, but eventually we calmed down. मतलब very solid game. Hakan scored, the gates opened after that, floodgates opened after that. मतलब आप देखिए उसके बाद Taremi was on fire. मतलब man of the match तो Taremi था. Like I love to see
How
that.
good was Taremi, yaar?
Yeah,
Matlab,
yeah,
he deserved that goal, that penalty. It was
yeah,
more like all the hard work that he has done, kind
yeah,
of Inter players giving him that penalty to kind of like
yeah,
acknowledge all the hard
yeah.
work that he had done.
Yeah. What was your thoughts? Because I think DJ is also right. Nice to have you, DJ. DJ,
Hey, Vijay.
we'll get to the UA game as well. But yeah, Ajay, I agree with you. Matlab, a lot of hard work into that. Achha, you pulled it up. Thanks. Matlab,
Yeah,
he was everywhere after the first half. Matlab, he won the ball back for both the goals. He set up Arnautovic. He obviously set up Lautaro as well, and Lautaro ने इंटर पेनल्टी जीत के उसको ही दे दिया, जैसे आपने बोला. गुड
right,
for his
right.
confidence as well. So top performance. This is what I think. What gets overlooked, Ajay bhai, is ki Mehdi Taremi is a European Knights player. He's been for years for Porto. He's been
Yeah, yeah,
delivering, and that
absolutely.
gets thoda overlooked
Absolutely.
because he's been at Porto for so long. So I think to have him for the Champions League games is insane. I think he's a top player, and I think this is where we'll see a lot of competition with Thuram, basically with him. So देखते हैं आगे जाके क्या होता है. But he can really complement any striker very well. I will say Henrik Mkhitaryan so far had his best game. In
Yeah,
मतलब he didn't look out of मतलब एकदम out of form, and he won the free kick which Hakan scored. But apart from that, वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ, solid game था. थोड़े jittery moments इधर उधर थे, which is fine. And yeah, 4 goals I think is good for the goal difference at the end of the day, because this
yeah.
format is a bit weird. But any other thoughts you had? Any other thoughts on the game?
No, I really think Lautaro को अभी finally after that lengthy international Copa America break, he's finally getting to his best. I know
Yeah,
कि थोड़ा Inter fans are saying that he's overweight and everything. थोड़ा
I
gain
don't
weight आया
know.
उसको. But I think he
Yeah,
brushed all of that aside. A goal on the weekend, goal in Europe. So
yeah,
Inter looking good here. I mean, I've always had them as one of the dark horses for the Champions League. And this performance, ये performance जरूरत था इंटर के लिए, because थोड़ा struggle कर रही थी the Milan derby of
yeah,
course, and even a very shaky game against Udinese. So I think this
yeah,
game was overall needed for Inter and Simone Inzaghi's men to boost their confidence. So and Mehdi Taremi, man, I think enough flowers aren't given to him. What a
mm,
performer throughout, very consistent with Porto of course, and
yeah.
now he's also showing up for Inter. So overall, I think a very solid victory, and Inzaghi can be very happy and looking forward to the weekend.
या जस्ट वन लास्ट थिंग एक बोलना चाहता हूँ कि एक एक पॉइंट आउट किया था सिमोने इंजागी ने कि बिफोर द यूसीएल गेम एंड आफ्टर द उडिनेजे गेम, ही सेड कि बेसिकली मैं जो बार बार बोल रहा था ऑन आवर स्ट्रीम्स एज वेल कि वी आर मेकिंग लॉट ऑफ रैंडम एंड सिली एरर्स. उडिनेजे के अगेंस्ट भी वही हुआ, वेर इन लाइक random goals we are conceding out of nowhere. So it's all avoidable as long as I feel the team wakes up and performs properly with the right concentration levels. We'll be fine. That's all basically. Acherbi making random errors. Hakan is still not fully in form. Stuff like that. So once the team, whenever that is, होपफुली सून, जितना जल्दी क्लिक करेगी तो better होगा basically. That's all I can say. So yeah, solid week in general because 2 out of 2 wins because Torino is also to come this weekend, of course. So
Yeah.
definitely. So I think we can move from Inter Red Star. Let's go to the
Juve.
yeah, of
Well,
course because
this I DJ I have a bone to pick with the media. They aren't giving much credit to the Juve win. I know Lille upset Madrid, Bayern Munich got upset by Villa, and of course Atletico getting beaten 4-0. But this itself was a result. यार क्या game था ये? What a game!
Guys, this for me was firstly, AJ, very, very happy birthday to you, my man. Wish you the
Thanks a
best year
ton, man.
ahead. Like I said, may all your dreams come true except Roma winning the Scudetto. Hopefully, Juve will challenge. But wish you a great year. Anyway, coming to your question, I think, yeah, for me personally, of course, I mean, we can call it a little slight bias, but I think that was the game of the season, that I saw yesterday. This was really for me. I mean, been a Juve fan for so many years, easily ranks up there as maybe top five, top six Juve performances of all time. Just like old school grinta, everybody giving everything that they had on the field.
Yep.
Literally at times, I know it's not the narrative that I normally like to take because football is football, but it really at times it felt like very poor refereeing decisions. I For me that was a clear Vlahovic penalty. It didn't come. I think for me the Douglas Luiz penalty was soft. It could go either way on another day. They were very quick to refer to VAR, even with the Di Gregorio incident where the ball looked like it ricocheted, but maybe, yeah, perhaps a red card. So, given the way the night went, and just to see that the players just didn't get bogged down, and I think, again, I say more than the result, just to see that is very, very heartening as a fan. Because what it really creates is this team is very slowly developing a habit, that winning habit. And when you develop that habit, it's almost like you don't know how to lose, where everybody sacrifices themselves for the other. So I think that is very heartening. As far as the media, I feel, of course, maybe European media at large didn't pick it up. Italian media was all over it. I think
yeah.
largely down to that they did pick on the referee. Gazzetta as well, especially, they did pick on a very poor refereeing performance. So, that said, I think more than what the media is saying, it's just very heartening to see. Of course, big loss to lose Bremer, because we suddenly have Vlahovic, who's beginning to look like a little bit of an animal, and just then you lose your most important consistent rock in defense. So that's very unfortunate. I do feel that it's a slight dent to Juve's chances in the Scudetto run, if at all they have a shot. But that apart, just the performance I think was right up there for me. Game of the season. It was so open till the end, and then those 9 minutes so became like Boca versus River Plate. Like so. It was very, very exciting. And of course, you guys must know this. I don't know if I said it on the group. Literally, I went into Hulk Hogan mode. I literally ripped my vest. Unfortunately, my wife was asking me not to yell because she was scared the neighbors will call the cops. So I literally had zoomies. I was just running up and down the room, when Concecha. That Chico goal was just
Yeah.
top drop.
Yeah. But I think you like yeah, look, this is one contentious point we can talk about, of course. I think more than this, DJ bhai ka chehra cut raha hai, so I'll just pull it up again for a bit and then take it off. But I think Ajay bhai will get your opinion as well. I think of course Vlahovic wala penalty tha, that should have been
Yeah.
given in my opinion. But the Di Gregorio one, it seems harsh because of the way it happened. But by the law, I feel it was a red because
Yeah.
वो
Yeah.
target पे था and his hand then deviated it completely the ball,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
where he gave the red. I know it is very harsh, I agree. मतलब he didn't know what he was doing, he just came out and then उसका हाथ लग गया. But at the end of the day, natural law के हिसाब से, game के हिसाब से, the ball was going on target and it took a deviation, that's why he gave the red. But the Vlahovic one, yes, that was a penalty, I agree.
Yeah.
वो तो देना ही
Stone
चाहिए
cold.
था उसको.
Stone cold.
And what did you think of, like, generally UA's fighting spirit? Because मतलब at the end of the day, ये I don't think Allegri के अंदर भी होता बराबर से. मतलब Again, nothing
No, I
against
think
Allegri, but
ये तो यार ये this is completely Thiago Motta. I think this is what he's brought to Juve, and the players are responding to him. तो तू देख रहा है कि यार मतलब ये they are playing for that victory at all costs. भले
yeah, as he said,
consequences हो, भले आप थोड़ा open up
yeah,
करो, but उनको वो win के लिए खेलना ही था, वो जो दिखा हमको कल रात को. बट
hmm.
यही था कि यार रेफरी का मैं एक ही बोलना चाहता हूँ, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि इनकंसिस्टेंसी है. बिकॉज अब सेम मैच में अगर कोई और टीम है तो यू हैव सीन कि ऐसा पेनल्टीज दिया नहीं जाता है, ऐसे हैंडबॉल्स दिए नहीं जाते. दिक्कत वही है कि देयर इज नो कंसिस्टेंसी विद इन द रेफरीज. द इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ द हैंडबॉल इज सो स्क्यूड कि इंग्लिश
Yeah,
रेफरीज हैव अ डिफरेंट माइंडसेट, स्पेनिश रेफरीज डिफरेंट
yeah,
माइंडसेट. तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा इशू है. एंड आई थिंक इन जनरल इटालियन टीम्स हैव ऑलवेज बीन एट द रिसीविंग एंड of these
yeah, of
dubious calls. तो
yeah, yeah, I agree with you.
अभी मैं क्या बोलूँ यार, मतलब आई डोंट वांट टू गो बैक टू एंथनी टेलर एंड वो पीटीएसडी खोलूं मैं. बट ओवरऑल आई थिंक this UA team looks like they mean business, absolute business.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this was a very team performance, despite Vlahovic, scoring 2 goals. I think
hmm.
even Cook Miners had a shot that hit the post. He was in general very good in the game as well. Slowly getting back to that, menacing जो Atalanta में हम लोग ने देखा, how good, how impactful he was. So this
Hmm.
is good news for Juve, but obviously ये Bremer injury has been like, very, any player getting injured is sad, yeah. And an ACL tear means you miss about 6 to 8 months of football, and then
Guys,
it takes
ACL and meniscus, AJ. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sad
both of
part.
it.
That's 9 months straight off the bat.
9 months.
Easy.
That's extremely sad. And this is a Bremer who was becoming one of the best centre backs
Hmm.
in Europe for that matter. Like, he was right up there, pushing it up to the top 7, top 8, like best centre backs, and arguably one of Juve's best players until now. So it's a huge blow for them. Huge blow for
Yeah,
Juve.
for anyone who's missed the news, I'll just quickly pull it up. Of course, he's as DJY said, like 6 months is obviously the ACL side of things, but
Yeah,
with the meniscus and everything, the proper recovery could be longer as well. And
yeah,
that is a big blow to US backline because it allows Mota to play a high line at the end of the day. And now we are
correct.
looking at news like, okay, they might delve into their free market or they might not mostly. But now they have to make do with internal solutions, right? DJ by like
Yeah,
you have Savona, मतलब कलूलो को center back खेलना पड़ेगा now with Gatti, of course, more
No,
often.
there is Cabal, there is Danilo. I
Yeah,
mean,
there is
Danilo
Cabal as
does
well.
bring that little bit of continuity and solidity, but I have a feeling they may also consider bringing Facundo back from loan, or there is
Maybe.
talk. There is talk, very light rumors of Sergio Ramos being a free
oh
agent
wow.
Yeah,
at
I,
Liverpool.
yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
don't think.
I'm not sure, but I think they will most likely look at an internal solution. You
Yeah,
know,
Yeah, I think so
this
because
is just
I think the yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
this is just so horrible to read. Bremer's season is over. Like it's just so sad, and it's like a weight on my heart. Like this guy has been such a he's so understated. He's such a champion for the cause. And always puts himself in line with whatever the team needs. It's very very sad. And like AJ said, not just because he's a Juve player, any player at this level of
Yeah,
injury at this stage in their career, it's very very sad. Yeah.
yeah, and obviously he's in his prime and everything at the end of the day. And I think, of course, he's a leader as well for the team. And big, matlab, you saw the injury at point of contact. Also, you could pretty much say that it looked very bad. I
very
think it
bad.
was Openda, right? It was Openda, right?
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
It was
Openda.
Openda.
Openda. Yeah, guys, it's very strange, but I've noticed Bremer's trajectory. He's not very comfortable in shoulder to shoulder for some reason.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
built like a tank, but I don't know if it comes to him naturally. I don't know what it is. I think he's always looked uncomfortable, and that's what really happened here as well. I actually missed it live, so I missed those first few moments live, and when I saw the replay, I kind of noticed he has this very
yeah,
strange angle when he goes into a shoulder to shoulder challenge, which
yeah.
is what happened here as well with Openda. And if I'm not mistaken, the referee didn't stop play at that point as well. He had to pull
No,
it
no, no,
back
no.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Guys
But yeah,
are
I think
a shocker.
Yeah, I mean, terrible news. And of course, एक और injury थी Nico Gonzalez. He's apparently expected to miss around 3 weeks or something as per early
but
news. So
yeah,
that, weirdly enough, both the injuries happened in the first 10 minutes, and it felt like udhar se Ajay bhai shayad UA will lose the match, because you have to remember Leipzig are a pretty good side at the end of the day. But yeah, just
Yeah,
two
yeah.
cents on them. I mean, Sesko was killing it out there, and I think still, matlab Chico Conceição's goal was insane, but I still feel, matlab Vlahovic, I think he
Chico,
will.
baby, Chico. That goal was like, Param, I can't tell you, man. That was like Lionel Chico, Lionel Concecha. I don't know what it was. It was
Yeah.
full Hulk Hogan. I just literally went like that. And like
Yeah, no,
crazy.
no, it
What
was
a
insane.
goal.
It was insane. Yeah, it was insane. I think for UA fans, that feeling must be there, right? अजय भाई इतने देर के बाद, मतलब ये सब कितने सालों के लिए देखने नहीं मिला इनको यार.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been
Guys,
years.
itne salon and this Fino ala Fine was, it was just a line. It didn't mean anything. Like every time I saw this team under Allegri, you're losing, you're winning, it's sideway pass, backwards pass. I mean, down to 10 men, you're 2-all and you're going for the win. What else does one want?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Like that's
And
balls, and that's what you want to see from your team. Like you give a shit, you care, you
yeah,
got the heart.
yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
you want to see.
And just one last thing about this game, वो डीजे भाई ऐसा लगा मुझे लाइप्जिग को देख के कि लाइप्जिग was the team down to 10 men. I'll be very honest
Yeah.
with you, they lost it completely after the equalizer. I felt they got a bit startled seeing कि यार UA इतना fight दिखा रहा है with 10 men. I think they just lost their shape, because I feel somewhere, as good as Chico's goal was, I feel you could have still doubled up on him, which they did. And Chico ने क्या किया, he showed his quality at the end of the day. So very very strong win for UA, and उन्होंने statement बना दिखा दिया है कि they can aim for a top 8 finish now, because you finish in the top 8, you're not playing that extra playoff round.
Yeah.
And as we
Yeah.
keep saying, we are not saying UA's fixtures are easy, but relatively अगर आप इंटर और मिलान के fixtures के साथ for example compare करोगे, तो थोड़ा, मतलब it's tricky, but it's relatively more comfortable also if this is how UA play. So very 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 strong performance, and kudos to all UA fans, मतलब fully deserved. Barring
Yeah.
Bremer's injury, I think that that's the sad part over here, and we don't wish injury even as rivals on any player. He was getting
Yeah.
a lot of wishes from all clubs like Torino, Inter, and AC Milan. So, hopefully he will be back strong. Ajay, if you could just take a few comments, because for some
Yeah.
reason I'm unable to pull them up.
Yeah.
So until then, I'm waiting for Chintan Bhai for the Milan game. I'll just check with
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I really want
Yeah.
him, because
Yeah.
that.
This is Beer's
Yeah,
comment.
very sad
Congrats
news.
to UA for winning 10v12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10v12, but I am surprised Mihir is not mentioning that for the Leverkusen game. यार, मतलब वो
नहीं
तो
नहीं वो
और भी.
आएगा मिहिर आएगा मिहिर ने बोला था
हाँ,
ऊपर but we'll take
हाँ,
that once Chintan comes. Milan Leverkusen
yeah,
we'll do it once
yeah,
Chintan bhai comes.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I
Kamal to कर दिया. I think Jaksir is a UA fan. I don't know, but maybe yeah. I've seen him in the comments.
good evening. Good
What
evening.
else?
आलू बिरयानी my birthday was yesterday तो अगर तेरा birthday कल था तो then we share birthday.
I think he's making it up at the end of, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Italian teams do get screwed in
Yeah.
UEFA competitions.
Yeah.
जो बहुत बार हो गए. We've all faced it. Yeah, that was top. Yeah.
There's such a banister. Yeah, fair enough, man. I mean, very
That,
very
yeah,
strikers
yeah,
instinct, Yeah, so
yeah,
this is ये Mihir यही बोल रहा है ना so many decisions against us. So
yeah,
just wait around Mihir थोड़ा सा let Chintan bhai come
yeah.
and
We are
Milan
waiting
fans
for
will
him.
go all out.
Yeah.
No, but what is it, guys? Like, what do you guys think it is when it comes to UEFA and the Italian? Of course, Seferin has clearly, I
He
mean, a bone to pick with
He
it.
doesn't like it.
I don't know how
He
much
doesn't
that
like it.
also filters down to the other Italian clubs as well.
Yeah.
But I've never quite understood it. And this guy was a French referee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
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 DJ,
like,
I'll tell you simply, na, ki, as you said, look, we all know openly he said it. He does not like Italian clubs and whatever. Ceferin, that is. And as you said, how much of that filters down to the referees, वो अपने को कभी पता नहीं चलेगा. But then it's quite evident. It happens to all clubs, DJ. It's not just UA. It's not just Inter. It's not just Milan. It even happens to Roma, Lazio, Bologna.
of
Okay, not
course,
Bologna. I don't want to say anything about Bologna now. But you get my point, right? It has happened to so many clubs. Napoli also. So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
Napoli
quite
as well.
ridiculous. Yeah, Napoli as well. It's quite ridiculous. It's annoying. So it's really basically, as Mir said, na, basically whatever game you're playing, no offense to any opposition, it's like you're down an extra man. Basically, you're facing 12 men already, because the referees are always messing up. And I was shocked, because I was like, yeah, I could clearly see Juve had a chance to win the game, and the decisions barring Di Gregorio's red, I felt were horrible. मतलब Vlahovic वाला तो clear penalty था. He's swinging
Yeah,
his boot. I mean, what else can you not see?
yeah,
It's a clear red. I don't know, man. It's terrible. It's
No, no,
terrible.
and it was referred to the box. They didn't just
Yeah,
call him,
exactly. Yeah,
and for the
yeah,
other one they stopped play twice. So
yeah,
yeah,
which is what I didn't understand. There was a little disparity there, but
yeah.
nonetheless, very
At
disappointing.
least,
But this is a long Champions League season, and
yeah,
it's really important for the Italian teams to get be treated fairly,
yeah,
equal,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
equal rights. So let's hope
yeah,
that the season progresses like that, and
yeah,
um,
yeah. And just take a few more comments, and Ajay, bhai, we can
yeah.
briefly discuss the Liverpool Bologna game until
Yeah,
Chintan bhai.
Liverpool, Bologna, Atalanta, Shakhtar before we hit
Oh
Milan.
yeah, Atalanta. My
And
bad,
this is
Atalanta.
this is for you, DJ.
Yeah, that I mean,
got it.
so many birthday wishes for Ajay bhai, man. So
Thank you
many.
so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Birthday kal tha, so thank you so
yeah.
much for your wishes.
Hopefully he'll get his gift tonight. Roma plays. Hopefully at least they'll win. Uh, yeah, Tapsova wala incident. Why we are waiting for it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't
So
get anything for
Bremer
the.
को ACL and
Yeah,
meniscus tear हुआ है, so ends 9
yeah.
months. This is a
Quite
question
sad.
for you, DJ, again. What about Kabal as a centre back?
Can play
I
there.
think honestly, yeah, he sees. I think Mota does actually see Kabal in the center. He's gone on record to say it. Personally, I don't. I think Kabal is better suited out on the flank. So I'm not sure because he's a little bit of a liability when he's faced with a dribbler. I feel like he struggles a little bit. His anticipation is he's very over anxious. He doesn't anticipate
Yeah,
as well. I think in the absence of Bremer, it's very clear to me the hierarchy really is between the three of Kalulu, Gatti, and Danilo in the center. It
Yeah,
has to be those three, and then of course whoever comes in as backup. But if those three remain injury free, I think Juve will maintain that solidity. At the back. Also, a little bit psychological. Bremer's loss, so hopefully they're able to restore that balance mentally as well.
yeah, yeah.
fair, fair,
But
fair.
I think
Really
Ajay,
sad
bhai,
for you. I think
if you can pull up the Bologna game on SofaScore, so
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
briefly,
yeah. We'll do
I
that.
did watch it.
We'll do
By
that.
the way, Bologna, I just want to show this because their third kid looks insane.
Yeah, that kid looks
I
insane.
wish there is a way to buy this because this is probably one of the better kits in the league. Very quickly, if I were to show it. Acha, आप game बता दो. We'll talk about it first. We'll come back to the comments, guys. Yeah, DJ, bhai, if you watched it, I'll get your opinion as well. I mean, obviously, I think हम सबको लगा था this will be like a 4-0 and everything. Ajay bhai had predicted a
They,
4-0.
they played better.
Which
They played better than that.
they played
To
better
be
for
fair.
sure. Matlab, the way Liverpool started was very strong. Matlab, I remember the
Yeah,
initial moment where Posh almost scored an own goal. He fumbled the ball
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
his own feet. But उसके बाद
Correct.
you of course they conceded. Salah is on fire. I mean, there's no denying that
Yeah,
he did what he did. But after that, after the first 20 minutes or so, Bologna pressed very well, and I was surprised to see they scored a goal which was given offside, of course, rightly so. और उसके बाद अजय भाई
rightly.
प्रेशर तो था, but you could see they're not matlab, this is a big work in progress under Italiano. I think this will
Yeah,
take like a
yeah,
whole season. This will it's too much of an ask to play Liverpool right away.
yeah,
I would say one big plus point, Ajay, if you could go back to the lineup, just scroll up, was again Lukumi, because he keeps showing that with him the
yeah,
team can remain a bit more compact, and he I think will definitely get a big move after the season because अगर Bologna ऐसे ही खेलेगी, I don't think he'll be staying long. And I mean, again, Orsolini was all right. Defense was okay. Freuler was all right, but the quality gap was too much. Dan Endoy, I think he will also leave Bologna because he was
yeah,
fantastic. Allison, again, we have to Ajay, if you want to shed light, because एक पॉइंट पे ऐसा लग रहा था ऑर्सोलिनी और एंडोय शायद गोल मार देंगे because Allison saved Liverpool as well on many
yeah.
occasions.
No, I think see problem with the gulf in quality between the two teams
Yeah,
was very obvious. But I think
yeah,
to be fair to Bologna, they gave a good account of themselves.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think so. Many teams can go to Anfield. Who are just like Bologna's level. With all due respect, Atalanta are far more superior to Bologna
yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of European experience at this point of time. So I think after that initial, because Liverpool start very strongly at any
yeah,
home game at Anfield. So They
Yeah.
survived that, but conceded, very immediately after that early pressure. But उसके
Yeah.
बाद I feel that Bologna थोड़ा सा got back into the game. They gave good
Yeah.
account. But then,
Mm.
Liverpool at home are too strong, yeah, and you can't
Yeah.
give them half a yard of space. So
Yeah.
Leo Salah ho, yeah, even Gravenberch had a very good game in the middle
Yeah.
of the park. So I think that's where they really lost that battle. I think ये जो उनका Moro, Freuler, Urbanski था, that is somewhere where I think Liverpool really dominated that, the middle of the park. And
Mm.
Salah, man, Salah against Italian teams,
Yeah.
he's always very, very. I mean, he's so good. So
Yeah.
overall, I
He's so.
think if I were Bologna, I would always write off this game, away game at Anfield. But I can take pride कि चलो at least हम लोग ने एक अच्छा performance दिया and looking forward to the
Yeah.
next games in the Champions League. Given the
Yeah.
nature of the tournament, there
Yeah.
are many other games that they can aspire to win.
Yeah, and this is a fair comment. मैं अरुण से agree करता हूँ. He could have scored. मतलब there was a moment I remember where they cut in from the left and Alisson
Yeah,
had to make a save and Alisson had to make some
yeah,
top save. मतलब जैसे
he
आपने
did,
बोला
he
जब
did.
when they had their moment, when they were pressing, they were forcing turnovers, they were good. So I hope. Look, I'm not the biggest Italiano fan, but I hope he makes this work. He's
Yeah,
Ajay, if you noticed how easily Gravenberch was running past the entire Bologna.
easily.
And that I blame Bologna because he's too insistent. Man to man marking ही करनी है, zonal marking करता ही नहीं है. It is so stupid as we think about it. Imagine the quality gap in players and you're forcing a man marking press. Just it's insane. So that's where I just feel Italiano has to adapt. I'm sorry, agar you have to save Bologna's season. Losing to Liverpool is fine as you said, and they gave a good account. But
Yeah,
please, for heaven's sake, इसको turn around करना पड़ेगा season because they only have one win the whole season.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
we can move on from Bologna. I just wanted to show that third kit because I think if anyone's missed out, this probably might be at least top three kits. I feel very simple. I hope this is visible.
Yeah,
Yeah, very simple and look at the pattern here. This is crazy.
nice one.
I hope this is easily available. Shall lena padega, but yeah, definitely quite a top kit.
Who,
Uh,
which player's name would you put on the back, DJ, if you had to buy this?
DJ bhai, okay.
I'm not player, Italiano.
Param, who?
Lukumi, center bhai. आपका क्या?
I would go for Orsolini 7, man, just because
Orsolini.
he's such
Okay,
a,
Italian heritage.
I like him, man. I absolutely like him. But
Fair
otherwise,
enough.
I would go for the goalkeeper kit, Skorupski 28, for obvious
Ooh,
reasons.
आपका keeper heritage, right? Of course.
Ex-Roma keeper, so many connections.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Ex-Roma as well. I think we'll have to start discussing the Milan game. I just spoke to Chintan, but he's not reached home yet. He's actually on his way back from his holidays. So, matlab, he's still reaching
No
home.
worries,
So
no
maybe
worries. Let's
we can.
quickly do Shakhtar, Atalanta, and then we'll
हाँ,
do Milan.
okay, I don't know. I keep forgetting. DJ, bhai, did you catch that game by any chance? Shakhtar Atalanta.
I didn't, guys. Unfortunately, this weekend, this week I didn't catch any of the games. I missed the start
No
of the
worries.
Juve game also.
Yeah. No worries at all. I mean, I understand Ija because there's too many games happening. I know our stream also is going to clash with a game or two, especially with Lazio's game actually. But no, we don't have an option. There are just too many games going on. Ajay bhai,
That's fine.
yaar,
That's fine.
yeah, Ajay bhai, Lazar Samardzic,
Oh,
insane
what a
performance.
game, man.
मतलब,
Oh my god.
yeah.
वो कितना उसने 8 dribble के 8 successful dribbles or something that
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
is just mental.
Yeah.
But how good was Davide Zappacosta also? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, oh my
थोड़ा
god.
वो under the radar जाता है because obviously Lookman got the goal. Samardzic, was pretty impressive. But what a game! And even Ederson, man, he doesn't put a foot wrong.
Oof.
I mean,
Yeah.
overall, this was a very dominating performance by Atalanta.
Yeah.
And अगर कोई भी यूरोपियन टीम है जो इनको सीरियसली लेता नहीं है ना, तो I really feel that they're just
Crazy.
digging their own grave. Because you
Crazy.
saw even Kosunu actually have a decent game. I think Ben
Yeah.
Godfrey also came on. He did come on if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
Ben
he
Godfrey.
did. He did.
हाँ वो
But
आया.
yeah, he did.
So
So, एक चीज मैं बोलना
the strength in depth of Atlanta is scary. The strength in depth is crazy despite the ACL injuries to Skamaka and Scalvini. The
Yeah.
strength in depth
My
is crazy.
only thing Ajay bhai with them is कि they're just too unlucky. मतलब अभी मैं example लेता हूँ. Kusuno got injured. He put in a top performance. He
Yeah.
got injured. Replacing him was Ben Godfrey, who had just come back from injury.
on
So
injury.
they're too unlucky with injuries, I will say. मतलब और भी injuries है. The list doesn't stop there. So I'm just my concern for them. What I see in the league is basically, they're still finding their way, as Gasparini said, because इतने injuries है. Now you imagine that fully fit Atalanta with Scamacca, Scalvini, Kosunu, and all the others who are injured. That's a crazy team. That's a very
Yeah,
strong team. But they just don't have those players. कल तो ठीक है कर लिया. I still feel, and funnily enough, in the league, we've seen they've conceded so many goals. In the Champions
they have.
League, they have conceded zero.
Yeah,
Two games, I get it, but still, played a very good game against Arsenal, which they should have won probably. So
yeah,
I look, this team has potential if they can just keep their players fit. उनकी गलती नहीं है, injuries हो जाती है. Of course, that's not their fault at the end of the day. Bellanova, by the way, I hope I don't know when Spalletti is going to announce his squad, but he has to get a call up. मतलब क्या performance
yeah,
डाला. He scored that. I don't know if you saw his goal, but that back post run, the defense didn't see him coming. He took a very fast, leap and he scored. So
yeah.
he's been fantastic as well. So again, very top performance, and I'm just glad to see some of the players found their form again, because in the league they've been terrible. And yeah, very very solid performance. And I think, as you said, now if people take Atalanta lightly to date, you're crazy. Matlab, sorry, with all due respect, I don't think you should be taking them lightly by any means. A very, very high quality team if they can just keep their players fit. And the stat you were talking about, I just wanted to pull up, Ajay, if you could just close that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very quickly. I'll pull it up. Yeah, this was the stat. First player to complete at least 8 dribbles and create 6 chances. Oh my
Wow.
god. Against Inter, yeah, I remember that game. I remember that game very well. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, very, very good player if his head is in the right place, of course. Yeah, top performance, and I think we all know that he was linked with at least all of our clubs at some point, Inter, Juve, Milan. But yeah, I think we can move on from this game. I don't think Chintan Bhai is going to be making it. Yeah, मुझे नहीं लग रहा है. So we can discuss the Milan game. DJ Bhai, did you catch that? Milan Leverkusen. No, no worries, no worries, no worries at all. But Ajay, bhai, any
Last week I
thoughts?
got all the games. This week I didn't catch any.
No, no problem at all. No problem at all. Yeah, I'm sure when the Azuri play, you will be there glued in on the TV. So definitely. But yeah, Ajay, bhai, this matlab Milan fans are not too upset about the loss. What were your thoughts on this game?
No, I think they should be upset because I don't think so. They deserve to lose this game by any means. Um, and see, yaar, ये जो Fonseca has really turned a page for Milan after all the criticism, after everything that Milan went through. I think this is a Milan now that is now responding to Fonseca. And again in this game, I don't think so. They deserve to lose. उनके बहुत chances थे, and the refereeing in this game was atrocious. Like uh, I don't know, man. कितने सारे fouls थे जो were not given. So many Leverkusen players were absolutely going in without any consequence as such. Their goal itself, यार, I don't know. I mean, Javi Alonso का आप बोल सकते हो कि he grinds out the result and everything, but not in this game. I'm sorry. In this game, I don't think so. This is a fair result. I think Milan deserved more from this night. And I think Chintan also was mentioning, Tijani
Yeah,
Riders, the one thing that is
yeah,
frustrating, he doesn't shoot. He does everything so well, but he doesn't shoot.
yeah.
So, very, very disappointed if you're a Milan fan. So many things to, look for. Like, it's not like they gave a bad performance, but it's not like the referees helped them either. So,
Yeah.
all in all, I think it'll be a very sour taste in their mouth. And Milan have all the right to be upset here. I mean, ये game उनको मतलब coming away with 0 points in this game was, I don't think so. That should have been the case.
Yeah, नहीं, I look, obviously मैं ये full game देख नहीं पाया because Inter's game was going on at the
Yeah.
same time, so I read a report and I watched the highlights. But from what I was told, from a very neutral standpoint, and what I read, कि obviously the referee towards the second half started messing up for both teams, not just Milan. First half basically ज़्यादा Milan के लिए, and of course that penalty also, that tap. Look, I would love to show a clip, but I don't want the channel to be hit with a copyright
Yeah.
strike. इसलिए नहीं तो clip तो मुझे already मिल गया, but I don't think I'll show it. But yeah, I
तो
do think it was
the Twitter पे is it on Twitter?
yeah, it's on Twitter.
Yeah,
It,
Twitter you can put it. Twitter you can put
Twitter
it.
I can.
Yeah,
Okay,
Twitter
let me try. The angle is not quite conclusive to be fair, but I'll just pull it up anyways. Now, this is funnily enough a Leverkusen fan arguing it's not a foul, but I do think it is. If you see this, I don't know where exactly there, exactly that point.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does
yeah,
look like a foul to me over there, right there. It's quite, yeah, there.
Yes,
yeah.
that is a foul.
Yeah,
It is a
exactly.
foul.
Right, yeah, that's a clear foul. That's a clear foul. Sorry. Thoda hai blurry, but this is the best I can get on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a clear foul here. Come on. Yeah, that's a clear
हाँ,
foul.
and you have
So,
seen these penalties being given. ऐसा नहीं है
yeah,
कि मतलब ये लोग देते नहीं है.
yeah.
Problem वही है.
And
Again, the
yeah,
lack of consistency.
consistency. And Milan, again from what I saw and read, they put up a valiant display. में पढ़ा कि मतलब
They did. They did. They
they
did.
were, yeah, they were knocking, and Morata messed up actually a golden chance. They hit the post and उसका follow up
Yeah.
वो fumble हो गया because they were, I saw that in the
Yeah.
highlights as well. So Milan could have done something. They got Leverkusen, and I think Fonseca na, I'll just say one thing to close this. He wanted to prove a point here because I read his press conference where he said he was not happy with how Alonso said Italian sides are typically a bit defensive. वो लोग defense before
Yeah.
the game, of course, he said this कि they'll be very strong defensive side, and Fonseca didn't quite like that because he's known to play a different sort of a game, and in general he didn't like that stereotyping of Italian teams. So he really showed at least Milan put up a fight because we know Leverkusen are a tough team to beat. But yeah, let me know your Milan fans ka thoughts. I would like to see in the comments since Chintan bhai isn't there with us tonight. I know Mihir has been typing, so let me just take his comments just to player showed fight. I was surprised we didn't drop shoulders after the first goal like cowards. Huge improvement from Liverpool. I think मीर
For
वो
sure.
डार्बी विन
For
से
sure.
हेल्प हुआ तुम लोग को, या आई
Yeah.
एग्री.
Yeah.
डार्बी विन से हेल्प हुआ. नहीं देख वो करवा नोड को ना पहले तुम लोग वो क्लब का सिचुएशन हैंडल करने बोलो भाई, और रेफरी
इनका
वेफरी का
इनका
बात.
पूर्वा सूद है. मिलान का पूर्वा सूद है.
Sorry, करवा
तुम्हारा
सूड,
पूर्वा नॉर्थ है.
yeah, nod. I'm too used to it, but yeah, both of them are need to sort out whatever is going on. Let me see if any other Milan fans are saying anything. Tapsoba ने पक्का रेफरी को नहीं. नहीं यार, but see, तुम give me your proper analysis of the game as well. Like, what did you think of the game? Uh, Fofana has started to prove himself. Great game, yeah. He's been
Yeah.
solid. He's been solid.
He's been good.
Let me
He's
see
been
if any
good.
other Milan fan is saying
बट
anything.
मैं
I really
मैं एक बोल सकता हूँ टैमी के ऊपर तुम भरोसा नहीं करना. आई नो टैमी बहुत पैशनेट है,
this is
बहुत
yeah, yeah,
he's a good guy, but eventually he doesn't score. And you see his goals, like he's been in some great position to score for Milan, but
yeah,
he's just not been able to find the back of the net. So penalty था
yeah,
जो उसको दिया था मारने के लिए, but otherwise आप देख रहे हैं कि even in the derby he was like, as a striker you want goals, right? So
yeah. I
I know
agree.
that Tabby does show a passion and he goes all out and everything, but eventually the goals don't come, and that's a serious issue.
Yeah. I agree. मतलब Tammy ने बहुत chances miss किया, and I think Milan fans were frustrated with that as well. Let's see what happens because we can move from the UCL. I think Milan का भी game discuss कर लिया. I
Yeah,
can't see any
yeah,
more
yeah.
Milan fans talking. Let me just take a few comments and we can move on. We'll talk about Serie A as well because obviously UA won in good. I know it was before, but we can briefly touch upon these games.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
again. I
yeah.
really wanted Yogesh to be there, but वो available नहीं है आज
This
because Napoli.
this team was for Yogesh.
Yeah. The thumbnail actually DJ Bhai was not going to be what we have put. It was actually just simply Yogesh and De Laurentiis or Conte. Sorry, it
Yes.
was Yogesh and Conte.
No, the three of them, Yogesh,
Okay, three of them.
Conte,
Yeah.
and Deloitte is all like brothers.
Yeah, correct. But unfortunately, he can't make it today. But yeah, we'll just touch upon the Serie A action as well. Let me just see what everyone's saying. Yes, Bremer को ACL हुआ. I see a lot of comments about Bremer. So Bremer को ACL हुआ है. Uh, seven. Kostub and Mithul included. The
Yeah,
regular panelists. Uh, yeah, Indoy, I took this comment. I was thinking UA could make it to the UCL semis this season, but with Bremer's injury, it looks much harder. DJ, bhai, even before the injury, did you think UA was like could reach that far in the UCL?
I think, Param, what will be interesting actually is we should do a breakdown in terms of the format of this
Yeah.
new tournament structure. Then it really puts into perspective because Juve by and large have always been a more round robin sort of team.
I get it.
Two leg knockouts, they are good, but once we kind of explain the new format to everyone, we'll really understand which kind of team structure and setup historically this format will suit.
Yes.
That said, like I said at the start of the season, this is a very European Juve.
Yeah.
The style of play is very European, which means it's high press, fast, quick moving football, one touch, quick passing. And I think the biggest change that I see visually is, of course, movement in transition. All of this is very suitable to playing in Europe. Whether they make the semis, whether they make the final, very hard to call at this point. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
variables are like what we saw with Bremer yesterday, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. I
important to
agree. It
stay
is.
injury free.
Yeah.
It's important to keep the form up right now. Vlahovic is the only striker we have. Milik is out for three
Yeah,
months as well. You
yeah,
know,
Whew.
so he's
Yeah.
gonna have to maintain that kind of consistency. Early days yet to kind of call how far the team will go. Early signs are good. That's what I would say.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. मतलब बहुत variable factors come into play. Like suddenly, look, like for you, Bremer's out. Barella is missing quite a decent amount of time, at least until after the international. मतलब he'll be back after the international break as well. So a lot of these factors come into play. Roma over the years have gone through so many injuries. Ajay bhai knows, obviously about
yeah,
that. So yeah, definitely a lot of factors. Dalinga's pressing game was good. One of the best players. I think Bologna needs one more player up front with Dalinga. I agree. I agree. Bologna needs a lot of more things, bro. I hope they pick up. I want Juventus to play the final so bad, please. He's a troll. No, never mind. Eight silver medals, but we have already done this, Kunal. We have already done this. तुम live section में जाके
yeah,
पहले देखो. We've reviewed kits, not tier maker, but we have rated all kits. So you
yeah,
can watch it later. Uh, this is quite interesting. Quite an interesting comment. Where can I get these kits? Searched last year's Milan fourth kit and couldn't find. Official one mat lena. Again,
yeah,
DM us on Calcio Charcha. I'll send you a link. Gopinath, who's usually in the comments, he bought from the seller I recommended and he's found every UA kit he wanted. So if you want, you can DM us. I know DJ bhai, did you get your third kit or have you not yet? UA.
No, I've not. I've not actually. I've got my
I
second
can
kit. I
I
haven't
can
got.
I can recommend you the same seller. It's just that you'll have to be a bit
Please,
patient with the delivery. He's
please,
I'm
please,
getting my inter kit from there, so I'll let you know as well. Ajay bhai
please.
got your Roma. You finally get your Roma kit?
I did,
Uh,
I did, I did, and I actually have ordered with the name Pisili 61.
what?
So
I thought it was Pellegrini.
yeah, but what I'm doing is right now. So since I have a very strong affection for Primavera products. तो मेरे
Yeah.
पास में अभी Pisili 61 रहेगा, Bowe 52, Pellegrini 7, Florenzi 24, Bartoli 13, the
Wow.
women's team captain who's also Romanista, and then of
Wow.
course Totti De Rossi. So it'll complete a
Yeah.
whole set of Primavera players.
Interesting. Interesting. Matlab, I'm glad to see somebody is going down a different path with all these Primavera players. Interesting shout out because I never buy Primavera players with the names at back generally. Yeah, Ademola Lookman is on fire. I think I'm glad he stayed because I know he wanted to leave Atalanta very badly.
हाँ उसको PSG जाने का था उसको.
हाँ, उसको I feel bad for Atalanta sometimes. Zappacosta is so good. He's still performing at a high level.
You know what?
this this has to be a
I would,
screenshot.
I would, I would not pick Di Lorenzo for my MDFA team. Please, I am
Yeah.
sorry.
Please, Ajay, can you take a screenshot? We'll send this to Yogesh. This has to be something.
You
Yeah.
should do a reel with
Yogesh,
Yogesh.
Yeah, yeah. I really want him to see this. A nice comment. But I think we'll take the rest of the comments here.
yeah.
I can see the general theme of the comments is about the game Belunga because we need to discuss a bit of Serie A action. DJ by the Genoa UA game, what did you think? Finally, matlab that game I feel really helped going into the Champions League game because you scored three out of no, well, not out of nowhere, of course, but very strong performance. Vlahovic was back on the score sheet. What did you make of it?
I think it definitely set up momentum. And what's funny is that this team is either scoring 3 goals or no goals. There is no
Yeah,
in between. So that it's becoming a little bit of a pattern. But that said, of course, I think the early signs again, like we discussed at the start of the season, there are very clear ideas that Mota has, Juntoli and Mota have had together for this team. It's clear the resources that kind of came in, to play a certain brand of football week in and week out. I'm kind of seeing that. We also discussed, if you guys remember, I had mentioned Mota is not someone who bases what we saw of him in Bologna. He's not someone who's fixated on his starting 11. He has
Yeah.
actually a starting 17, 18, squad of players, and every one of those guys kind of get game time, which is kind of makes this team a little unpredictable in certain areas, especially midfield. You know, who would have bet on Locatelli being like a mainstay in this team as a starter? But what we've seen
Mm.
is Locker's kind of holding ground, and now Fajoli's in a way where he's just bossing
Yeah.
the midfield.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
down to, I think, Mota backing these guys, and I think the results are kind of there. You can see it, Param. You said it earlier. It's the players are playing for him.
Yeah.
They're playing for him. They're playing for each other. The amount of chances we've discussed this offline as well. Vlahovic really did not deserve the chances he was getting, but I think it's that faith, that constant faith, and Mota could easily maybe play with a 4-9, either bring Gonzalez in or even play VR, in that number 9, 4-9 role. And um, I think the fact that he's kind of backed Vlahovic, it's
Mm.
kind of creating that belief, in each player that my coach
Mm.
has my back, and I will sacrifice myself for this team, and nobody's really bigger than anyone in the dressing room, you know.
Mm.
So I do feel like this is a very given that they play with very strong transition in defense and
Yeah.
attack, it's a very
Yeah.
high scoring team. Now it's a matter of just making sure that the defense is in order, with Bremer's loss. And I think
Mm.
what we saw in Genoa is what we will see against Cagliari as well.
Yeah.
You keep coming at you. Now it's a matter of how much of the patterns and muscle memory comes in, with the
Mm.
player movements and stuff like that. But it's clear
Yeah.
the players have kind of understood the combinations, their lateral movements, playing between the lines. I think everyone has kind of understood each other's movement, which is important for this kind of gameplay. So,
Mm.
yeah, to that end, I feel like we'll see more of the same against Cagliari.
Yeah. The answer to this is Chintan Bhai. Yeah, he was the one singing. If you saw that preview, of course. Quite.
ये
I hope
बोलते
you
हैं
liked it
छोड़ेंगे.
because that was a crazy preview. uh, yeah, देख, Ramos मुझे लग नहीं रहा है रवि, मतलब I think they won't take that फालतू का their costs will go, मतलब wage bill they're trying to cut here, it goes against their policy as well. I know Ramos will probably take a cut, but I feel Juve will not go down this path. I don't think so. Let's see though. It remains to be seen. uh, Anything else about UA? Because I agree with DJ भाई कि बहुत strong performance था अजय में, मतलब I know it was behind closed doors. Genoa को stadium ban मिला था because they clashed with the Sampdoria Ultras and everything.
Yeah.
So that was there. But apart from that, yeah, Vlahovic perfect game to get back in form, and it's not looking good for Genoa. मतलब yeah, I think they are in for
Krish
a
है
tough season.
comments में. Krish है
Sorry,
comments में.
hey, yeah,
Krish है
hey, is he
comments
there?
में. Yeah, he's there ना. Relegation zone के एकदम करीब है. Next game Atalanta. Tough
Yeah,
for you, bro.
Krish,
Very
this is
very
where
tough for you.
yeah. I'm just glad that you're continuing to at least try to support
Support.
Genoa. मतलब I know it's difficult.
I think you will
मतलब
survive,
I'm
Krish. Tension मत ले. You will survive.
yeah. I'm just glad. See, कैसा होता है? I'll just tell you one thing about these mid-table and bottom-table clubs. They do jump into the January market when things go bad.
Yeah.
So maybe Genoa will. Now look, their owners are the worst probably in the league along with Hellas Verona. So maybe it'll be tough, but I feel maybe तुम लोग 17 finish होके बच जाओगे. I just feel that like it's looking really bad, but I hope you stick to Genoa and support them. It's good to see at least you have not given up so easily. Uh, Let me see if any other
Param,
comments regarding you.
Param,
Uh,
परम बिफोर
बोलो
बिफोर
बोलो.
वी मूव अहेड मेरे को थोड़ा
हाँ,
सेल्फ प्लग इन करना है. दूसान
श्योर
ब्लाहोविच
श्योर.
का दूसान ब्लाहोविच का फॉर्म जो बात कर रहे हैं, आप ये शॉट जाके देखो. इसमें हम लोग ने लास्ट वीक के स्ट्रीम में हमने डिस्कस किया व्हेन आई वाज लाइक यस, दूसान ब्लाहोविच will get back to scoring goals. I don't know
Yeah,
why it's not loading, but yeah, that's pretty much what it says. And subscribe to Ajay Menon Talk Sport, AM Talk Sport.
yeah, please do.
So I'm at
Ajay,
976 subs.
yeah,
1000 तक
get him
पहुंचा
to
हुआ यार. यहाँ
yeah, get him to
976.
1K. His video with Drogba got 10K views here. मतलब he did a whole video on
Yes.
Lukaku. So get him to 1K and subscribe to Calcio Charcha. We are on the road to 1.2K subs now. 1.1 has been achieved. Congrats to everyone. Please now, if you haven't subscribed, if you have not liked this stream, please do so. Spread the word here. मतलब content आता रहेगा. I know this last week was a bit of a break for everyone. most of us weren't available for the most part, but the content will resume now. We'll start dropping different kinds of videos again. So subscribe karo, subscribe to Ajay Bhai's channel, and yeah, we'll keep bringing the content to you. We'll quickly go through the Serie A games. Ajay Bhai, if you could just quickly pull up some other games, because let's talk about Napoli. Actually, we have not talked about Napoli at all. Let's talk about Napoli because
Top of the table, Napoli.
yeah, can you pull up the 2-0
मतलब
win against yeah.
क्या
Oh my
गेम था
god.
यार, क्या गेम था
Yeah,
उसमें.
yeah, I watched this. I watched this, and my God, Kvaratskhelia is back. मैं यही बोलूंगा. Kvaratskhelia is
Yeah,
truly back in form.
yeah, yeah.
He's
And and
that.
how good is Scott McTominay, man. I mean, क्या
Yeah,
Conte ने उसको पहली बार देख. Scott McTominay was always a good player, but I don't
yeah.
think so. He was utilized at his best at Man United. And
हाँ,
credit to Conte to he's found a way to utilize Lukaku, Kvaratskhelia, and McTominay in a very effective way. कि तीनों are contributing to the offensive turnovers and coming up with goals, assists, and everything. But yeah, Napoli top of the table. Yogesh is happy. He is currently with Aurelio De Laurentiis in Naples. They're having a glass of wine, celebrating being at top of the table. इसलिए आया नहीं वो आज हमारे stream में.
But
yeah.
guys, tell me, what is your take? Do you guys think Conte is overperforming, or is this team really that good?
Good question, yeah.
हाँ,
This
we
is a
are
good
just
question.
one incident away. One incident away.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with. So I agree with Ajay bhai. मुझे लगता है ना DJ bhai, they're their worst enemies. They're मतलब no, look, see DJ bhai, you saw the performance in your game as well. I know Juve could have won it towards the end and whatnot, but still they held their own. They don't have any other competition to play apart from Coppa Italia. Things finally thodi gel ho rahi hai in terms of the players. I'm not saying they have the best squad. I'm not saying they have a squad on paper at least good enough to, convincingly win the Scudetto. But they're good enough in terms of the schedule and the players to at least put up a good fight and nick the Scudetto, I feel, if they had to. Because DJ, our schedule is crazy. The Club World Cup is happening after all the drama. We know the Club World Cup is going to happen. Inter Juve, now you pointed out Bremer's injury. Nico Gonzalez is injured. Barella is injured. Matlab, this is like a red carpet for them. Just walk. I'm not saying it's that simple, but you get my point, right? Like just prepare properly, avoid any drama, and they're good. As long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, I don't see how it can go wrong for them. One
Yeah,
game a week, he gets to prepare Lukaku physically the way he wants to. He
yeah,
gets to have Politano in the best condition possible. I don't know how it can go wrong on paper. I don't think it's. I do think there is a bit of overperformance, like players like Rakmani, their centre back. We saw last season he's not that good, but now he's suddenly performing well because he has Buongiorno next to him. We know Politano is not a good player either, not that good a player, but he's suddenly performing very well. So there is overperformance, but then at the end of the day, that's what Conte does, right? He will always uplift your players
Correct.
even if they're
Correct.
not good. Yeah.
Correct.
So it is what I do think they'll be there. Yeah, I do think they'll be there, and on merit, of course. Um, but yeah, I'm sure
You're right,
Yogesh is
Madam. I,
very.
I, I kind of, I kind of agree with you. I just feel that with Conte, a lot of it will come down to his relationship with ADL and how much interference happens. He's a
Hmm,
guy who kind of is very singular in his head in the way he likes to approach and implement his ideas and concepts. And if there's a
hmm,
little interference, there's two things actually about this Naples team. I think one is the fact that McTominay is a game changer for them in many ways because
yeah,
Conte
yeah,
is very clear on how he wants to use him. That has made a
yeah,
big difference to me in
yeah,
terms of defense. Buongiorno was the signing of the season from a
yeah.
defense standpoint for any team other than Arsenal and Calafiori. That to me was my
I
favorite
agree.
defensive signing. So I think Conte has very clear ideas with the key guys, the tent pole guys. But what I think is that they're also a very thin squad in terms of depth.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're one or two injuries away from, I don't want to use the word crisis, but from
yeah,
Conte and ADL having a spat, you know.
yeah.
And I don't how that kind of filters into the dressing room, we don't know. We saw him in the first game when they lost, you know.
Hmm, yeah,
We
yeah.
saw
I
his
we saw.
reaction, and that is something that affects the dressing room. So
Yeah,
I think it's a very fine line between Conte performing and this
Yeah.
team being good enough. It's a very
Yeah.
fine line, you know.
Yeah.
I
I
think this
agree.
team
So go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
I think this team being good enough by itself will
Hmm.
really take a performance that makes them lift the Scudetto. Then you would say it's just the team, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think right now Conte is kind of yeah, you know, implementing and pushing that match winning mentality. Like you said, Quarwa is a player where he's a mentality player, he's a system player. You know, if he
Hmm.
understands the movements, he will perform. So I
Hmm.
feel like that, and also Conte very consciously kind of knows, Param, what you said, that they're
Yeah.
only in this tournament, and at the
Yeah.
same time he doesn't want to let the weight of expectation bog him or the players down.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Very
yeah,
well
they are
said. Yeah. Go
definitely
ahead.
front runners to the Scudetto. Definitely front runners, Param. I fully agree with you. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I would have pitched as dark horses, they are definitely up there. They will be
Yeah.
a very key challenge for all the other title runners.
I agree with you, and of course, on this note, he's won the manager of the month. That smile always gets to me. I don't know why, but yeah, Ajay bhai. Also, just one question: as DJ bhai, I agree with probably everything DJ bhai said because, yeah, they whatever overperformance ho ye wo, but they have again only the Coppa Italia, and only if something dramatic, unless something dramatic happens here, they should be, they are in already in a good position. I would say
Yeah,
based on how they play on the pitch, also it's finally gelling well. मतलब अगर आप रखमानी जैसे प्लेयर को लास्ट सीजन के परफॉर्मेंस से इतना अच्छा करवा रहे हो सडनली, आई अग्री, चलो एक बड़ी इंजरी हो गई तो देयर सीजन इज प्रॉब्ली स्क्रूड, मतलब देयर इन अ बैड पोजीशन सडनली, बट what do you think, Ajay bhai? I feel they're quite good. I mean,
I
on any
think
given day,
मेरे
they'll
हिसाब
probably
से
end up. हाँ बोलो.
मेरे हिसाब से they are in pole position to actually challenge for the Scudetto because the core of the team is still the same. You know,
Yeah.
you have Conte, who obviously is a master in winning league and titles, and he's got one game a week, as you mentioned. So सारे जो points है सब check mark है. It all
Hmm.
points towards Napoli having a very strong and up to date, because ये जो December आता है, November December आता है, January
Hmm.
आता है, when the fixtures add up to the likes of Inter, Juve. That's when Napoli have a clear advantage where they can just focus on the league and get grind out wins. It will
Hmm.
be ugly wins, but what matters is that they will grind out those results, which say a club that has played in Europe, it'll be difficult for them to play those 3 games a week and get those 3 points. So all signs points towards a Napoli run. Right now too premature to say whether it'll amount to a Scudetto, but they
Yeah,
look
I
favorite.
agree.
But वही है कि they're always one incident away from everything crashing and burning, and De Laurentiis and Yogesh getting panic attacks and rehiring Walter Mazzari back. वो भी हो सकता है. That is a very plausible
But
scenario.
with these exact same players, what would Walter Mazzari achieve? Do you guys think he'll
Exactly.
be top of the table?
Zilch.
10th place. 10th place.
Yeah.
Again.
Back to them.
Yeah. See, this is to what DJ bhai said and to what you said. There's a very interesting point he makes. Because usko press conference में पूछा था, are you guys favorites? So he keeps denying. See, that's a
He
very
will deny.
typical.
Obviously.
Yeah, he will deny, but he keeps saying this. I hear people talk up who know nothing about winning titles. We need to accelerate to bring Napoli to where it deserves to be, which is certainly not in 10th place, 20 points behind Inter. So I just found this very interesting. Ki this guy
You know
clearly.
who he's addressing. You know who he's addressing, na Param?
Who? Okay.
He's addressing Giuntoli's interview, where Giuntoli said that history suggests the team with the most continuity is
Yeah.
most likely to win the title.
Yeah.
And he cited that those two teams are Inter and Napoli.
Yeah.
This is his response to that.
I so wish Yogesh was here so that we could have had this debate between you and him once again. But I really wish he was here because मजा आता है, entertainment बहुत हो जाती है इस episode में. But I think this was a good discussion on Napoli because
Param is hung. Let's have a look at the rest of Serie A, DJ, very quickly. What are the
Yeah.
results that stood out? Param is back. What are the
yeah, I was
results that stood out otherwise, apart from the Napoli game?
was that for me or DJ bhai?
For either one of you?
Okay, मैं से
I
बोलूंगा
think for me
kudos to
the one that really stuck was the Fiorentina Lazio game. I mean, yeah, to me,
Wait,
I
wait, wait. This
feel
is,
like
hold on, sorry. This is the
वो तो
previous one.
पहले वाला हो गया, वो तो पहले वाला हो
This
गया
one.
ना.
Yeah,
We
this
had,
one. This one.
yeah, we had Torino Lazio. Lazio beat Torino away from home. Uh, but yeah, Como, kudos to Como. If I'm still audible and visible, मुझे
Yeah,
ऐसा लग
yeah.
रहा है hung for some reason. No, kudos to Como. They finally won another game and Kutro ने hometown boy saved them. मतलब बहुत अच्छा performance
And
डाला उसने.
Il Galo.
Yeah, Belotti scored as well. I'm just shocked to see that cult classic Serie A names are scoring, and yeah, very top performance from their youngster Nico Paz, उसको अर्जेंटीना का
but
कॉल अप मिल गया.
who
So
will they depend on, Param? Who, I mean, wouldn't we expect this of Belotti?
yeah,
I think
yeah,
same for Cotrone as well.
yeah,
Who are they? I mean, that dependency is going to be on who else. Remember, we discussed it at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So sorry to cut you off, DJ. So this is the Torino fan who used to join us on our Euros watch along. Alessandro, nice to have you after so long, man. Like I know, it's been a long, long time. I'm glad to see that Torino are actually doing well, even if they lost to
Yeah.
Lazio. Uh,
And
please
we
say
have the
something.
biggest Che Adams fan in Chintan. He's not here
Yeah,
today,
yeah,
but he's got a man crush on Che
yeah.
Adams right now.
Yeah, Alessandro, let us know what you think of Torino's season so far in the comments, man. Please, we'll love to get your thoughts. As Ajay bhai said, we have Chintan bhai who loves Che Adams, and Che Adams is playing so well. So nice to have you. Please let us know your thoughts. Torino UA rivalry also. So nice to see this. But yeah, Ajay bhai, I would just say very quickly. Sorry, DJ bhai, you wanted to say something about some game, right? You wanted to give an opinion.
Guys, I was talking about the one last weekend that was on our screens.
Yeah,
Uh, in, I'm actually looking forward to the coming week's fixtures. Milan Lecce is more than really who Milan were up against. It's really
yeah,
good to see that, again, we discussed this at the start of the season. Fonseca just needed a little bit of time.
Hmm.
You're beginning to again see that these guys are understanding each other a lot better. So I'm catching Milan in glimpses, and just seeing, and whatever little I've seen both in the Champions League and seen in the Serie A, I think they're beginning to understand, and they're going to get a little bit of continuity. So they are also, I don't want to use the word ominous just yet, but they are onto something, and given the right kind of continuity, you will see that form continue for quite a bit. Roma
Hmm.
for me, yeah, even though it was Venezia, I'm not convinced. Yeah, AJ, I feel like DDR was still the guy. Um, no,
For sure.
I'm not visibly seeing. Of course, it's too early. Not visibly seeing the improvements, but I think what DDR gave them was a certain foundation in defense, and I think that needed a little bit of time to build on. So the result, I wouldn't say flatters to deceive, but hopefully it's just something that helps them build, because I don't think you can afford another sacking this season.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely,
No, I think
absolutely. And
other than that, matlab Bologna to Atalanta to it was a quite weird game wherein I thought maybe Bologna could have actually won, or even Atalanta to be fair. Inter Udinese Inter to thai matlab very chaotic, very stupid mistakes by us, but we still won that. I was happy to see that. Lautaro Martinez returning to form was the biggest talking point, and I think he's back in form. Empoli Fiorentina जब है nil-nil था, but I think Empoli showed why they are doing well. I think
yeah, yeah,
they will make life tough for everyone. And
yeah.
Roma game to we discussed already. I think I personally feel Juric is already doing a very very good job, and we
Same,
can
same,
see the
same. I think
difference.
the difference is that the players are now responding to Ivan Juric. So
Yeah,
that is a
yeah,
positive. They
yeah,
actually played for the result despite not playing very well. They actually got the 3 points in,
But
yeah,
guys, I
which is the
see.
most.
Look, that's why I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I still feel that what happens with the change of coaches is also that initial
yeah.
enthusiasm. Then you go
Yes.
through. It's like a relationship, right? You go through a moment of crisis, and
Uh,
that's when you truly know how much the coach and the players have gelled.
hmm.
Which is what I saw that they have that with DDR. With
Right.
Juric, it's so early, yeah. It's too early to
Yeah.
tell. That little refreshment, gives you that spring in your step, initial momentum. You got
Yeah.
to see how the afterburners are.
Yeah.
Which is why
Fair play.
again, unpopular opinion, but I'm
Yeah.
not
No, no, that's
convinced.
fine. That's fine. That's
Still
fine.
not
Matlab,
convinced.
I also have my ifs and buts with Juric, but it's our opinion. It's my opinion, like some a bit
Yes.
different from yours. I feel Juric is a tad bit better than De Rossi, but I didn't agree with how De Rossi was the way he was sacked. It was very
It was not
harsh.
enough. It was not enough basis, Param.
Yeah,
Because you need
No, but
also to grow in your repertoire as a coach. You need that much thinking
yeah,
on the ground, so you need that continuity.
I
Especially
fully
when
agree.
he's a club legend, he understands that club. He understands the system,
Yeah,
and what you cannot replace with the club legend is the way they implement on their players, impose that
yes,
willingness to die for the shirt. Juric
yeah,
is
yeah,
never
I
going
agree.
to get that out of his players. DDR
That's right.
could,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
That's where I feel it's a little unfortunate. But anyway,
Well,
yeah.
let's just take a few comments and tie it in with the games as and when they happen. Torino 2 points away. Alessandro says so far so good, amazing performance so far. Stiamo arrivando per questo. Yeah, Alessandro, I just want to say that it's good to see Torino doing so well. I know you'll be playing Inter actually on the weekend, and Vanoli is actually suspended because he had an argument with the Lazio bench. So he's suspended, and to his point, Vanya Milenkovic Savic, of course, who said that? Yeah, Gaurav said it. He's injured, so there is a doubt as to he might not be making it to the game as the first choice keeper. So let's see. But he's a very good goalkeeper, and I think Ajay bhai, very quickly, Torino are still doing well. Yeah, matlab, it's fair to say they've been living up to expectations from our end as well. What we predicted,
100%,
they didn't have the best
100%.
of games. Yeah, they didn't have the best of games against Lazio. They made some silly errors, but still, yeah. What do you think? Good start for them.
Very good start, man. And of course, Vanoli is showing why he is probably one of the best upcoming coaches, you can say. And kudos to Torino. Apart from the Lazio game, I think
Yeah,
they've been quite. Even the Lazio game, I watched that game. मेरे को लगा कि they could have, should have probably at least gotten a point away
yeah,
from that game.
yeah,
Definitely not a loss. So
yeah.
सही है यार, इनको देखने मजा आ रहा है एंड वेरी एंटरटेनिंग टीम. आई होप दे मिक्स इट अप एंड जो अपना प्रेडिक्शन था कि वो 10th के ऊपर आएंगे, आई होप दैट कम्स ट्रू.
I hope, please, and I hope the Derby della Mole is closer, like than ever
Yeah,
before, because we know Juve usually win it very easily.
yeah,
So I hope
No,
it's
yeah,
like
that's not true. That's not true. It is always very closely contested because, as it
mostly, yeah,
is with, you'll notice every team that is, perceived not to be a threat or competition, which
hmm,
is not all, everyone brings their best when they know that they are playing, a team that is popular, whether it's Juve, Inter, Milan, Roma, right? So Torino have never been come into a game where no matter where they've been on the table, they've never been second best in that game. It's
yeah,
always been a head to head. It's like India
yeah,
Pakistan. For them, it's a matter of pride. When you're playing for pride, it's very different than when you're playing for points.
yeah,
You know,
I
yeah.
that's a fair.
mentality is
Yeah,
By the
I
way,
agree.
the Juve Torino game is on the 10th of November, the Derby della
I'm
Mole,
ready
and
for it.
on that weekend you have Inter Napoli also.
mind blowing.
I'll be ready.
Mind blowing.
Yogesh, come on, man. I really wish he was here. But one more thing I'll just say before we
I'd love
go.
to see a Param versus Yogesh trash talking a piece of content like we had. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, yeah. I mean, anything with Yogesh, definitely
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
some gold to be.
This comment, people doubted
Lord
Yogesh
Yogesh,
when he
yeah,
put Napoli as
Lord Yogesh,
Lord,
of course.
yeah, yeah, yeah. नहीं यार मतलब he's definitely confident यार he's always confident. Watch Conte undersell himself like crazy, and in the end वो already he started ना this past weekend he did
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. He denied कि Napoli are not contenders. मतलब he denied that they are contenders. My bad. But Quara having stinkers, yeah, that happens to every player यार. मतलब he's still a very
Part and
class player.
parcel, yeah, part and parcel of the game.
Yeah, he's playing very well यार. रौनक मतलब इतना अच्छा खेल रहा है वो. It's very मतलब he's back in form. Wait, be patient with him. He'll hit the next level. Conte will carry out this season very well without much friction. I actually agree with Mir. I think second season maybe things will boil over. I think that's the second season syndrome with him always. So I feel that's when things will boil over. By the way,
You
Lazio
you
lead
never know.
for
You never know. कि
yeah,
Yogesh is not present. मतलब कुछ ना कुछ तो बैक एंड में चल रहा है, behind the scenes
चल
चल रहा
रहा
है.
है. Yeah,
You
he's
never
trying
know
to
what.
sort it out. Yeah, Lazio lead in their Europa League game against Nice. Pedro scored. Good for Serie A in general. I'm sure Ajay is not happy, but
Of all those players, that rat had to score.
Yeah, Pedro. Alessandro, good morning. That's a good one. Buongiorno. Yeah,
Buongiorno.
we'll just take a few comments and wrap it up, guys. I know everyone has to leave as well.
Yeah.
Uh, which have been proved to be better. We need a few improvements. Proper right back. Ruben Loftus Cheek out. Liberally in. Fonseca भाई फ्यूचरो प्लेयर्स को कर ले इंक्लूड स्क्वाड में. It will happen with time. It will happen with time यार. Trust the process, I guess, as DJ भाई says. मतलब अभी तो चालू है यार Fonseca का प्रोजेक्ट. And you guys still won the derby, as much as I hate to admit it. Matlab, you still won that. So, no one asked about how's my name. Actually, my name is Gaurav and I support
Gaurav
Croatia.
Kabad.
That's an interesting way to do
Very
it.
interesting.
I'm,
Very
I'm
interesting.
just glad you picked Inter as your club. बाकी कुछ pick नहीं किया बस मैं उससे खुश हूँ भाई. So I won't judge your name. See this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I
Fagioli
love.
versus Fagioli, and I
Yeah.
think it's going to be Fagioli.
Yeah, I hope Alessandro you keep coming to our streams more frequently because I would love to see. I would love maybe if we could make something happen for Juve Torino. Injury is never good for a rival. Even as a rival, I
Yeah.
hope Bremer will. Yeah, we all agree. Nice of you
Yep.
to say it, Alessandro. Just seeing if any
Yep.
more comments. Yeah, I saw this. DJ, where do you rank Swilar as the goalkeepers? I don't think he's better than
Yeah,
Mike.
nah, yeah. Before you take one guy just tweeted, not all Roma
Yeah,
fans
one guy.
think this
Yeah,
way.
one guy.
But,
Yeah.
but I still feel that Arun is a better keeper than everyone in this list. Arun is the best keeper.
Very cheeky, very cheeky. But DJ, as a neutral, what's your opinion? I personally don't think he's better than Maignan and Sommer. But where in the league, where do you think he ranks Wheeler for what he's doing right now with Roma?
I think Sommer is up there. Like for me, it's also I've always had a soft spot from him for Sommer because
No,
I've
I meant
just
Wheeler. I meant Wheeler, DJ. Like,
no,
where
no.
do
I'm
you think
just
he?
saying in the list
Okay,
that we see,
okay.
uh,
Fair enough. My bad.
Mikey, funnily enough, I feel he's got a little bit of what's the word? He's not overrated, but he's got a little bit more of a push. There's a slight aura in the media, that kind of
Yeah,
adds lens to him.
yeah,
Svilia, for me, I feel like he's a guy who you got to watch over the next couple of years
yeah.
before you can really pass judgment. We're very
Fair.
quick to kind of label and define, and
Yes.
I feel like it takes a little bit of country before you think that someone can sustain and be called at a certain level. To me, we use world class also so loosely today.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
there is before world class, there's a continental class, and you've got to maintain that for a couple of years
Yeah,
before you move into that world class category.
yeah, yeah.
So I think we've got to be a little bit distinctive and discern clearly in terms of rating.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree with you. That's a very good assessment. I think Swilar को भी थोड़ा time देना चाहिए. I think Ajay bhai as a Roma fan
What
will also agree
what
कि
what
एकदम
I
से
what I really like about Svilar is that uska ceiling is very high. I
yeah,
think he's
yeah,
got a very
Exactly.
high ceiling.
yeah,
If he works towards it, I'm sure that he can become one of the best keepers in the league. I still feel that he's there the top five in Serie A right now.
Mm, mm,
Like top five, top six. I definitely feel he's better than Vanya Milinkovic Savic, but that is
oof,
just because of pure bias against
fair enough.
Milinkovic
Yeah,
Savic
that's fair.
No,
and that
AJ, but you're
family.
right. See, look again, you're comparing because Savage has already hit that ceiling, and
Yeah, that's
we
Interesting.
are now judging a player who's got a higher ceiling, so that also creates a little bit of, and that's why
Fair
I'm
play.
saying that we just got to give them a little bit of time to see how they're working towards
yeah.
that ceiling. Because the best example of that is Dybala.
Yeah,
Everyone hailed him as the second coming of Messi, and it's so unfortunate to see where he is today in terms of his injury issues, in terms of his mentality, big blow when he left Juve, Roma almost letting him go to Saudi. So
yeah,
we've just got to take the pressure off and just let them breathe for a little bit and grow into that ceiling, that we're talking about.
But one thing everyone can agree upon is that it is a war crime that Jose Mourinho benched Svilar for Rui Patricio for so
yeah,
long.
yeah. Of course, of course.
My God,
That's Mourinho for you. This is I
last
don't know
was
if
the
this.
past.
Yeah, I'll just take a few comments. ये मतलब ये genuine है कि trolling है मुझे वो नहीं समझ रहा है. But
Yeah.
interesting कि if you actually saw these games, then interesting shout out. Uh, uh, are you linked with anyone? नहीं, very quickly I'll answer this. Sachin, Ramos के links है, but they're not really concrete. I think they'll find an internal solution. And I agree, Milan have literally gifted Kalulu to Juventus.
What
I'm
a
sure
dumb
DJ
gift,
was
really, man. Like who? Who in the right mind gives
18
Kalulu
million,
and
yeah, 18 million guys. But again, I don't want to jinx it. It's too early. We already
It's
lost a defender to an ACL.
fair
So
enough.
let's just hope, he gets
But
the right amount of responsibility and grows into it. But his early signs are he's kind of recovered from his injuries.
yeah,
Hopefully
he's
he recovers, and he gets that continuity and grows, in terms of
yeah.
confidence.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This is quite interesting. Indian football fans को सुनने का अगर आप if you're a Delhi Dynamos fan, then you can easily support Genoa.
आराम से,
Good.
आराम से, आराम से.
आराम से. No,
Then,
no.
then, then you don't have like they're not the worst owners ever, because
Yeah,
Genoa owners that is.
yeah. So this again, I remember Aditya, you had brought it up. I've not forgotten, but I
हाँ,
actually want Chintan Bhai to be here to address it as a Milan fan. हम लोग बोल सकते, but I want the Milan fan to address it. So again, unfortunately, he can't join us today. Again, I have the screenshot. I'll take it again. We will address this in a future stream. Don't worry. But I want it to come from a Milan fan, rather than from a neutral.
yeah,
Another UA fan we have. Yeah, I love Taremi as well. Yeah, मतलब what a player. Atlanta is love. Congrats to you. Solid win. I hope you guys pick up form in general.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Let me just take a last few comments. I think most of them I've taken, and then we'll close this. Uh, yeah, this. What do you guys think before we close this? This is the biggest talking point. Ye comment. Samuel
Richie,
Ricci. Now, early report आई है कि Manchester City DJ by want him in January to replace Rodri, who's obviously out for the season. It's reported by
Rodri
Guardian, so you
also
can
has an ACL, right? Or Rodri's
yeah
meniscus.
ACL,
ACL
ACL.
ACL. So now the news is कि वो लोग शायद रिची के लिए आएंगे January itself. I'll simply ask you, yes or no, because Torino के लिए बहुत बड़ा loss हो गया है DJ, but it'll be a big loss. I mean, obviously this is how football goes, but a big loss here if this happens. What do you make of this, and do you think he should move as early as January if they come calling?
Yeah, well, if they come calling, I don't think anyone can do anything about it. But
Yeah.
to me, too soon, too green, too young. I mean, what is he? 23, 24. I mean,
Mm.
too early to kind of come and slot into that City lineup. I would say it's best for his growth if he stayed, but I don't think it's going to be in his hands. They just come and give you whatever money you ask for, and that's that. Good for his career to stay. Will it happen? It really if those links are anywhere true, then it will happen. But would I like it to happen? No, I'd like him to stay in Italy.
Fair play, fair play. Ajay bhai, your thoughts before we close it?
Let me play the devil's advocate. I think that if he moves abroad, Spalletti will call him up for sure because Spalletti loves
Yeah,
Italians playing abroad. And I think
yeah.
Rodri is out for a while. I know Shivam का comment है कि शायद उसको playing time नहीं मिलेगा. But I feel कि because of Rodri's injury and just how City are in general, because Guardiola का वो fixed 11 कभी रहता नहीं है. So I think he will get some playing time, and given the congestion with the fixtures, तो उसको playing time मिलेगा. But will he adjust to a new league, a new country? That is a question mark. But if he gets a chance, he'll never get it again. So I can understand if he chooses to move to City. But as a Serie A fan, as a Calcio fan, I hope that it works out for him. Like he progresses as a player and does not regress and does not come back to Hellas Verona or something after City. That is out of the question.
That is, yeah. See, I am with DJ on this because I do think he's a great talent, but वो थोड़ा भी green है, and I don't. And this is nothing against Manchester City. I think he'll be fine, but I
Yeah.
just feel it's too soon. I want to look. This is
Too
maybe
soon.
biased because I want to see Torino do well. Firstly, if they lose him halfway through, see DJ Bai knows how Urbano Cairo works. He'll get the money. He's going to waste it like he did in the
No,
summer.
yeah,
With those signing, yeah. So I'll be then to their season will get ripped apart completely. So from that perspective, I'm really hoping it doesn't happen. I know it's good for the player. He'll benefit from Pep and everything, but yeah, I just hope summer में हो जाए. I have no issues because I think Richie is bound to go to a bigger club at the end of the day. With all due respect to Torino, that is. But I just feel not in January. I hope not. Yeah, it's too soon. I'm going to DJ by
But
on this. With all due respect,
even
yeah,
even if he goes, guys, I think this new breed of Italian football players, it's good for them to stay in the continent, in Italy. So I feel like it will do him good if he moved within the system of the clubs that he's used to and he's grown up with. He moves to Manchester City. Everybody is not a Verratti story. There is a certain level
yeah.
of maturity that you need. You come in with a starring role. Very hard. better for him to stay. And let's keep our
I
fingers
agree.
crossed that he's.
I agree. Let me just take the last few more comments and we'll close it. Apologies अगर मैं सब comments नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ. थोड़ा आज obviously time constraint है because of the games as well going on. So much to discuss. Uh, but Cairo wastes it, yeah, Arun. That's what I said. He's not good with handling the money, so that's where I don't like it. Then it's okay, but transfer not good for either Serie A, Ricci, Torino. We are with. We just gave it Rio. You will have to thoda go back. We just finished discussing this.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think there are no more वैसे comments. We don't know any details regarding the fees yet. Ramos to Juve, will it be good? I don't know. I think Juve should promote their under 23 players instead. I think that's way better for them. In January, में जिसको
I think, guys, if you see what Motta's doing, he's got such a ballsy approach. He just doesn't care about the name on your back.
yeah
This whole thing is how you show up in training and what you give to the shirt. It doesn't matter. Others, you wouldn't see a Savona, you wouldn't see a Rui, you know. So it won't be surprising. Yeah, he'll pick someone out from the next gen and just throw them into the deep end, and as
yeah
it should
exactly
be. That's how you make the team grow and full power if he does. Yeah, you never know.
yeah. Who is good at UA under 23 right now? DJ, but do you have anyone in mind per se just to name? We don't need to मतलब एकदम depth में जाने की
To be
जरूरत
honest, I was actually a big Deventer fan, and I was very sad when he
नहीं.
went.
Yeah.
Uh, at this moment, there's nobody that catches the eye, but I don't know. Let's see. I have a feeling though. There's also a possibility of maybe recalling players from loan, Facundo and Danny
Yeah.
Rugani. So
Yeah.
those options exist as well. So it could be that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
DJ, this image pains me to see Giacomo Faticanti play for the UA 23. He was again a Roma Primavera De Rossi Bhag, more than number 16.
Yeah.
Primavera captain and now playing for the
Yeah.
under 23.
Yeah, I saw that Mourinho with the laptop. Classic. I'm sure everyone has heard of it and seen it by now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Too funny.
Ajay, मैं आपको predict. Yeah, too fun.
Yeah,
Ajay, मैं आपको-
so just quickly, I think we will just
quickly.
look at match week 7 of
Yeah.
Serie A. Obviously, Fiorentina
थोड़ा
Milan
zoom
is
in
the
कर
game
दो ना.
that stands out.
थोड़ा zoom in.
Fiorentina Milan is the game that stands out for sure. मतलब इसमें कोई
Yeah.
सवाल ही नहीं है.
Inter Torino, I think as well, given where both teams stand, I feel that is one
Yeah,
game as well.
yeah.
I
That's a
feel
good
another
game.
game. There is a rivalry in there. Bologna Parma, वो तो है ही. मतलब that's a regional
Yeah.
rivalry
Yeah.
that is there. Monza Roma interesting, but I think Roma, मतलब Monza we know is toothless so far, but interesting game I feel given that it's away.
Yeah.
Juve come up against a Cagliari who's finally won a game. So, but I still feel Juve will win. यार, come on, I don't think Juve is.
Empoli upset मारेगा देख Lazio को.
Yeah, मुझे.
Empoli will beat Lazio.
Yeah, Ajay bhai.
No,
betting
Param,
always-
I don't quite agree, because you'll also notice Juve is also beginning to look a little fatigued. I
Yeah.
noticed Yildiz Cambia so very, very tired, because they've been going guns blazing, and Motta's been playing them 88 minutes, per game. He's not like he's pulling them out 60, 65 minutes in. So fatigue is a factor. It's an early kickoff. You can never say, it's a tricky game
Fair
because of the kickoff time, I feel.
Fair play.
The game of the weekend for me, actually, guys, surprisingly, will be Atlanta Genoa.
Good call. Actually, I can.
Rack up.
Now that I think
what
of-
about Napoli Como? Do you think Como एक और upset मारेगा?
Straightforward, yeah. 2 love.
I'm just excited to see DJ by Conte versus Cesc Fabregas. मतलब, I don't know why. It just feels so strange. I'm just excited to see that. And Verona Venezia, I think, should be like interesting from a relegation perspective. Because Venezia, actually, if you saw the Roma Venezia game, DJ by Roma probably could have lost that game. मतलब, there was a call or two. Maybe Ajay will agree. Maybe Venezia should have had a penalty or whatever. Being very neutral, not implying anything. So interesting to see how that goes.
And
I think Juve win.
Zeki Chelik's ball line ने बचा एक
Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw that DJ bhai. Zeki Chelik's bald spot saved
Yeah.
Roma from an offside.
Crazy.
Right, let
I
me
think
just
share
very
the image on the group also.
yeah, it's crazy. I'll just quickly pull it up, but very quickly, DJ, what are your just the prediction for Juve Cagliari?
Tight game, huh? Tight game. I mean, yeah, Juve are just fatigued. I think it takes a lot to win the way they did, right? You're very empty in the tank, so it's like restarting. Plus the Bremer injury, it's a tricky game. Maybe looks like a 1-1 and also early start. So I feel like you will be a bit sluggish. But if they're able to keep the momentum, I mean, if they play their football, then it's maybe a 2-1 or a 3-1. But if they start
Fair,
sluggish, could be a 1-all. They're looking
fair.
tired. That's the thing.
But DJ, that's the case now with Mota. कि either 0-0 होता है या 3-0, मतलब 3 goals or no goals at
Yeah,
all.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So far,
So
and
I
also
think
you haven't
this will be the one that kind of breaks that pattern of either three love or
maybe.
love all. It will be a different scoreline.
Yeah, we are not predicting all games. Time नहीं है और अजय भाई आपका गेम और फिर इंटर टोरिनो प्रेडिक्ट करके we'll take the comments and close. लास्ट 2-3 कमेंट ही है. Monza Roma quickly क्या लगता है आपको?
Hopefully a 2-1 win again. Similar game like Venezia. Tough game away from home. I think Monza will dominate some sections. But I just hope that Ivan Juric we grind out the result and get 3 points.
Yeah,
And Inter
fair.
Torino, I feel that Inter will beat Torino, in my opinion.
I think look Torino का थोड़ा मतलब Vanoli is not going to be on the sidelines. He's suspended. Vanya Milenkovic Savic might not make it to the game. I still feel they'll give us problems. You have to remember we don't have Barella and we are also coming off. I won't say a
Yeah.
draining game from Red Star, but Toby Torino is good here. So I will say like I'll still think maybe like a 1-2-1 Inter win. I'll think it very tough game, but a 2-1 Inter win. I think we'll win it.
2-1, I
And yeah, that
agree.
yeah
And
2-1.
I feel
बहुत tough.
Monza Roma will also be an open game. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a 2-1 game as well for
Yeah.
Roma.
Yeah, very quickly to answer Samun Bhai's question. Yeah, he's a Roma fan. No,
No, no, because he's still not fit, Samun. He's still not match fit,
okay,
as per Ivan
fair play.
Juric.
Fair play. Only for Krish, I will predict the Genoa game. I think Atalanta finally win in Serie A. मतलब after a while, 2-1 Atalanta or something like that. I'm sorry, Krish.
2-1, but it'll be a cracker. I feel
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
cracker.
going
it'll
to
be a
be
good
Absolutely.
one.
really
It'll be a good
fight
one.
each other
Yeah,
very hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see यार देखो यार अगर आपके थोड़े comments मिस हो गए apologies हम लोग streams में लेते रहेंगे we'll take it in future videos lot to talk about we'll drop more videos don't worry और आते रहेगा content last week was sort of a break week for us so we'll take your comments and keep tuning in guys please like this stream please share it after it ends please subscribe hit the subscribe button we are on the road to 1.2k subs अजय भाई के चैनल को जाके सब्सक्राइब करो it's at AM Talk Sport बहुत close है to 1000 subscribers
Yeah.
get him there get him there guys come on he's putting in the effort as well
Die.
yeah see you guys soon yeah ciao ciao we'll see you in the
Ciao,
next
ciao.
stream mostly
Night, night.
Torino video
Ciao, ciao.
next week I got giveaway results will come next week so yeah ciao ciao guys
Night, night.
Ciao.